morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on ABS Television. My name is Priska Wampo. The headlines. Anambra State Government introduces Shop More Empowerment Program for shop owners. Stakeholders in building industry urge to uphold professional ethics. Federal government unveils special Nigerian political history on Democracy Day. Mass protest in Hong Kong over extradition law. And now the news in detail. Anambra State Government has introduced an empowerment program called Shop More Project for shop owners in all the markets and major streets in the state. Details and more on this report from our studio.
To a release signed by the Commissioner for Commerce, Trade, Industry and Wealth Creation, Dr. Christian Madubuko, and his Lands, Physical Planning and Rural Development counterpart, Mr. Nnamdi, the Shop More project is powered by the Ministry of Lands, Commerce, Trade, Industry and Wealth Creation, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service, commercial institutions, and Enoch Consulting as project consultants. Shop More project will lead to the issuance of certificates of occupancy to shop owners who will consequently be privileged to use their shop as collateral to obtain soft loans from participating bank to fund their businesses. Other major benefits of the program are entitlement of shop owners to appropriate compensation in case of disasters and or demolition by government for reasons of overriding public interest, promote transparency in the collection of and accountability for all revenue generated in each market, as well as bringing the government closer to shop owners, as they will now be assigned specific identification numbers, which assures them easy access and direct interactions with relevant government MDAs. Shop owners in all the markets and major streets of Anambra State and the statement disclosed that members of the project team comprising Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Commerce and Trade and AIRS, led by Enoch Consulting, will visit each market according to a table to be published soon. It advised all shop owners to liaise with chairmen of their market unions to provide the following information: 2 passport photographs, completed application form issued by Ministry of Land to the visiting team, copies of shop allocation papers certified by the market union executives, and bank electronic receipts for registration fees paid.
The Speaker, Anambra State House of Assembly, Mrs. Rita Maduagwu, has charged legislators-elect for the 7th State House of Assembly to enact quality laws for the state in order to be good reference points. Barrister Maduagwu made the call at the induction workshop for the legislators-elect in Oka. House of Assembly correspondent Chukwemeka Modelim was there and brought back this report.
Speaking on the theme of the workshop, Enhancing Good Governance Through Legislation, the Speaker described the workshop as apt because, according to her, it would prepare the legislators-elect to take off successfully for the task ahead. She encouraged them to de-emphasize selfish interest and focus on performing the 3 cardinal functions of lawmaking, oversight, and credible representation. The Speaker urged them to carry their constituents along to enhance their living standard, adding that they should always organize town hall meetings and empowerment programs for the development of their various constituencies. On his part, the clerk of the House, Mr. Pius Udo, explained that the workshop, which lasted for 3 days, has exposed the legislators-elect to the processes involved in passing bills, raising motions, and oversighting government organs, among others.
What we have done is to give them a bird's eye view of what they are coming to do, because you know that what they are coming to do will affect the lives of the people of Anambra.
Meanwhile, a mock session was held yesterday by the staff of the Anambra State House of Assembly for the legislators-elect to acquaint them on the processes at the chambers. In a vote of thanks, the member-elect for Nnewi North constituency, Mr. Nonso Okafor, while expressing gratitude over the mock session, noted that it aided the easy assimilation of the workshop they had in the last 3 days.
I want to appreciate the clerk of the House, the mock parliamentarians, and every other persons who here who have made this particular mock sitting a success.
On his part, the member-elect for Anambra West constituency, Chief Patrick Udoba, said he is now set to sponsor bills for the good governance of Anambra State, as well as give his constituents effective representation. For the member-elect for Anocha 2 constituency, Chief Ejike Okechukwu, the exercise is a right step in the right direction. From the State House of Assembly, it's been Chukwuemeka Modelem, ABS News.
Land developers, engineers, and contractors in Anambra State have been charged to strictly adhere to professional ethics as members of panel of inquiry on the recently collapsed building at number 8 Ezenwa Street by Ogalonye Street, Onitsha, begin work. Correspondent Chibuzo Okoye is our guide.
At the scene of the incident were representatives of Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, as well as Anambra Material Testing Laboratory. Speaking to the ABS, the chairman of the panel and traditional ruler of Fuke, Igwe Charles Abala, said the essence of the visit was to get first-hand knowledge of what happened and how it happened, noting that things have changed since the building collapsed. Igwe Abala explained that their mandate was to investigate immediate and remote causes of the collapse and proffer solutions that will help government in tackling the problem of building collapse in the state.
The essence is for the team to see for themselves what happened, how it happened, and the state of things. Unfortunately, by the time we came here, the way it was when it fell has been dismantled, as you can see here.
The managing director, Anambra State Material Testing Laboratory, Engineer Ebosie Ezoke, said after taking samples of concrete, iron rods, soil investigation, among others, for necessary tests, they will come out with results that will determine the cause of the incident. He advised building contractors in the state to investigate soil texture and adopt quality control measures at all times.
About 70% reduction statistically. So I think the existence has definitely done a lot, and we are going to do a lot.
The chairman, Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, Mr. Chike Mmadehwe, made it clear that henceforth, anybody that sees any building that is likely to collapse should bring notice to their office for immediate action to be taken, even as he said that his board has taken some steps to strengthen building approval processes in the state.
The problem we are having is that, let me say that there is no agency of government all over the federation that has the capacity, human capacity, to do post-approval monitoring of buildings.
The panel equally visited a duplex situated at number 44 Modebe Avenue, Onitsha, that was marked for removal by the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, where it was observed that some occupants were still in the building after an order to vacate, claiming that they don't have anywhere to go. ABS crew also noticed that about 4 buildings around the area were also showing signs of imminent danger from Onitsha. This is Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
The federal government says it is going to unveil a special Nigerian political history on June 12 Democracy Day to reawaken the consciousness as a people to appreciate the fact that Nigeria as a country is endowed with enormous resources and potentials to prosper. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, disclosed these at the unveiling ceremony of the National Democracy Day exhibition held at ICC Abuja. He said the exhibition took the country back memory lane on its political struggles and eventual freedom for the British colonial masters. According to him, the exhibition this year was rather unique as it has also presented the history in arts and pictures and also in a digital interactive form that presents a whole new experience to all guests. At least 500,000 people in Hong Kong are expected to brave sweltering heat on Sunday to press the government to scrap a proposed extradition law that would allow suspects to be sent to China to face trial, according to the organizers of the match. A committee of the pro-democratic groups has raised turnout estimates and are now eyeing the biggest single-day rally since 2003, when a similar number of protesters forced the government to shelve tighter laws against security. The march will end at the city's Legislative Council, where debates start on Wednesday into sweeping amendments to the Fugitive Offenders Ordinance. The extradition bill is due to be passed by the end of the month, after weeks of growing local and international pressure. The protest is expected to reflect the broad range of opposition to the bill, with many saying they cannot simply trust China's court system or its security apparatus. And now sports news. Brazil has finally named the player that will replace injured Paris Saint-Germain star Neymar at the upcoming 2019 Copa America. Neymar has been ruled out of the Brazil's 2019 Copa America campaign after rupturing ankle ligaments in a friendly against Qatar a few days ago. According to Liverpool Echo, Brazil has now called up Chelsea's Willian to replace Neymar. Willian was not included in Brazil's coach tight initial 23-man squad, which was released last month. Brazil is set to host the Copa America between June 14 and July 7, kicking off against Bolivia before facing Venezuela and Peru, respectively. The industrial town of Nnewi, Anambra State, was in a pensive mood as the remains of engineer Emmanuel Anyebunam was laid to rest in his country home in Yaba Umudim village, Nnewi. Late engineer Anyebunam, aged 81, was a national engineering icon, a member of the Association of Consulting Engineers of Nigeria, chairman of Umudim Nnewi Development Association, and chief engineer at Integrated Project Management Limited, Lagos, among other numerous positions he held during his lifetime. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata is our guide.
Sermon at St. Michael and All Angels Anglican Church, Umudim Nnewi. During the burial rites, the preacher, Ordinand Shiagoziem Israel, charged Christians to always remain salvation conscious, as everyone is bound to account for his or her actions and omissions while on earth, urging all to repent and prepare for the imminent end as the day of final judgment draws closer.
The place of waiting. Where is the place of patience? Where is the place of endurance? Where is the place of total dependence on God?
Immediately after the funeral service, the corpse was taken to his house for interment, where relatives, friends and well-wishers came to commiserate with the family. Some in-laws to the family who spoke to ABS, including Mr. Shimi Obwebile and Mr. Abayomi Akinwole, described their father as an epitome of love, whose doggedness was worthy of emulation, and noted that his death was a great loss, not just to the family, but to the entire community.
And was a father to me. We were close. He was always very supportive, loving, caring, and always provided good advice as a father.
Some of the children of the deceased, including Mr. Kenenna Anyebunam, Mrs. Shioma Obwebile, among others, described their late father as a man of virtue, God-fearing, caring, loving, peaceful, truthful, and fearless, who was loved by all, adding that his sterling qualities were yet to be equal.
We try our best to maintain the values he upheld and do our best to give back to the community as much as we can.
The wife of the deceased, Mrs. Ernestina Anyebunam, described her late husband as a true husband who had in no small measure contributed to the success of their children and asked God to give the family, and indeed the entire community, the fortitude to bear the loss. Others who paid glowing tributes to the deceased were the managing director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, Chief Ushenwora, and the outgoing commissioner for public utilities, Mr. Obiwankwo, and many others. Condolence visits and dance featured at the event. From Umudim Nnewi, I am Emmanuel Shibata reporting for ABS News.
And may his gentle soul find peace in the bosom of the Lord. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com facebook.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points. Anambra State Government has introduced Shop More Empowerment Program for shop owners. Stakeholders in building industry have been urged to uphold professional ethics. Federal government unveils special Nigerian political history on Democracy Day. And finally, from the foreign scene, mass protests in Hong Kong over extradition law. That's the end of the Breakfast News on ABS Television. Many thanks for watching. I am Priska Wanko. Good morning.